Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining us in the Game of Stones podcast. I'm here with Mr. Philip Ruiz from Assured Flooring and Countertops. And we just want to learn a little bit about your story today. A lot of people in the industry, thanks to your partner, Jessie Harrell, know who Assured Flooring and Countertops are. Proud to say that you guys are great friends of ours. And it's been nice to see your evolution over the years. Now it's been many years that we've been friends and working together with Poseidon. And I just wanted to get a little bit of your backstory, how you got into the industry, and then how your journey has been so far in general as an entrepreneur and those kinds of things. What's helped you achieve the success that you guys have? Because currently you guys are one of the main dominating companies in your area of Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Of course, born and raised in South Louisiana. Uh, First job, I think it was a lifeguard at a swim pool. So, doing lifeguarding, and then eventually I got a job at Raising Cane's. So Cane's did a lot for me. That is a quick service chicken restaurant that started in Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
It's delicious.
And it's great, right? They've expanded a lot since they started, I guess, in the '89. Have you eaten Cane's?
They're the best tea.
You've got to do it. It's so good. So started off at Cane's and was really lucky to start there. I bring that up because from very early on in my work career, uh, I found out what was important about running a business, servicing a client, how an operation runs. They did a really good job with their training, their culture, the things that they preached. And so from an early age, I was able to get a sense of what a healthy business looked like and a healthy operation. After that, I decided to like a lot of people do. I decided to start my own lawn and landscaping business. Grass always grows here, so it's a really good industry to get in. And from an early age, I knew I wanted to be a part of running a business in some capacity. I was very attracted to how Cane's ran their business, and from an early age, I had a lot of confidence that if I had the opportunity, I could impact a business, whether it's being a part of one or running my own business. So I ended up opening the lawn business. That went well for years, and then over time, got into some other things. But to jump to Assured Flooring, actually, I ended up going back into the restaurant industry. But in April of 2014. Jesse was in the middle of a transition with his old business partner, and a friend of his was gonna buy out his old partner, and and I had no idea who Jesse was, but the friend that was buying out his old partner knew my brother. So my brother got a text about his buddy buying a business or buying into a business, and they were looking for inside sales consultants. So my brother said, "Look, I think I got a good guy for you." My brother, he's super driven, he's confident, he's great with people, he wants to be a part of something, bigger than himself. It sounds like y'all are going to be making some changes, and he could have a lot of opportunity. So Rafe, who knew my brother, got me in touch with Jesse, and I'll never forget it. When I first met Jesse, I walked into a showroom, and Assured Flooring, this is 10 years ago. Assured Flooring was Jesse was kind of like a lot of business owners. He was just trying to figure it out. He was working 80, 100-hour weeks and super committed to this vision he had and this belief he had that he wanted to have a great business, but was kind of in a rut. And so I walk in to interview with Jesse, and I'll never forget, he had Chick-fil-A, and I walk into the Sealing location, and he's like mid-bite, hair's all messed up. It looked like he had been in the shop selling, doing admin, just total mess. And I'm like, "I'm here to see Jesse." And he's like, "That's me. Let's go talk. Like, I'm ready." I'm like, "Wait, there's nobody watching the showroom. There's nothing going on." And he carved out some time for him and us to talk. And right off the jump, I told him, I said, "Look, I'm just looking for an opportunity to be a part of something that has a lot of potential. And in a perfect world, I do so well that one day you're on the beach with your wife, drinking margaritas, and I can run the whole thing for you." And so from the start, I had made it clear to him that that I wanted to be super impactful with what he had going on. And so we fast forward a week later, he calls me. He's like, "Look, you got the job. Let's get started." And actually, I had started with Jessie prior to the whole transition of ownership happening. So kind of got a head start. About a month later, the transition happened, and oddly enough, really quick, they shifted me from being with Jessie at one of our locations, and they said, "Look, you're doing a good job." Like I was with them for about 2 weeks, and they kicked me over to another location, which at the time his wife was running. So his wife trained me for probably 3 months, picked up on things super quick, and just super eager, super confident, and started doing a really good job in sales. I think we were around 1.8 million in sales at the time. And so within a year, got a few accounts, and
What year was that?
this was 2014. We were around,
wow.
I think 1.8, maybe 1.9, right at 2 in sales. And really lucky because Jessie's wife and I got along well. Of course, she would go home and tell Jessie about how, I was showing up early, staying late, doing whatever it took to try to be impactful. And so I worked out of Perkins for a while, but got some accounts. And around 9 months into working at Assured, our other partner he had an injury. So he was out for like a year. I feel like it felt like a year. And during that time, and I remember
Close that gap.
Yeah. Jessie and I got really close during that time because I remember every day I'd leave work, I'd call him and give him an update on what happened that day or what I was struggling with, or pick his brain and just throwing out ideas. And really quickly, Jessie and I just built this camaraderie and this respect for each other. Jessie's 12 years my older. I have so much respect for him. And if you know Jessie, he is the ultimate helper. Like he just wants people that he can help. Like if he's helping somebody, his cup is getting filled.
Yeah, he doesn't work for money.
No, he doesn't, which is so smart. And I got so many stories about that.
Yeah, he works for
he just wants to bring good. Yeah, he wants to bring good. That's all he wants to do. He's the greatest guy. And one day I'll go more into my story. And I always say Jesse's one of those guys that didn't have to ruin his life to figure out what it meant to live a good life. Like in my experience, a lot of guys that I know, and really including myself, I had to go through a lot of hardship to realize like, hey, I don't have this figured out. I've got to reset my way of thinking and start living differently. Of course, Jesse's got a story. He was young at one time, but Jesse's just always been so good at kind of knowing what matters in life and being very happy and fulfilled because he's always kind of known what matters. So anyway, we when that partner got hurt, Jessie and I, we really just built a lot of camaraderie, and we started accomplishing a lot of things. And we just got very, very close. His wife and my wife got close. Jessie and I got close. We used to hang out every Wednesday night, and we were just always talking about the business and what we were trying to achieve. So about 3 years after I started, I proposed to him. I think this was in 2016. I said, look, what if we did this? What if instead of me being in sales, I get with the current team that we have and I lead that team. Like we'll rework the commission structure. I'll be responsible for all of the sales, and I will help them grow their sales, and we can compensate me a little differently. We can set up just kind of a new thing.
And what made you want to take that initiative?
One, I felt like we had a great team. I felt like that they all I knew what Jessie and I were trying to accomplish. We had a great group of people that all believed in what he and I were trying to accomplish, and because of how our locations were set up, really sales was based out of Perkins. I felt like I could take that off his mind. Like, let me focus on this, and you focus on the operation, and we'll be better suited.
Perkins is a builder?
Perkins is one of our locations.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's right.
Sure.
That's right. Yeah. And so I said, look, let me.
So that's the walk-in clientele.
That's right. Walk-in clientele, or clients that we would call and kind of cold call at the time because our name wasn't out there. We were just trying to get our names out there. And so talked with the team. They were like, no, we'd love you to be the sales manager. And started figuring out ways that we could incentivize them differently and give them a little bit more room for growth and a little bit more confidence in going out there and getting more contracts. And man, that went really well. You know, the flood happened we had a flood in Greater Baton Rouge in 2016, and we almost grew too fast that year because in 14 we started at 1.8 million, and in 16 I think we did 10 million, and so 2 years later, you know, we almost 10x. I guess it was 5x of what we were used to. It really wasn't amazing though because we weren't ready. We weren't ready, you know.
A lot more leakage. Less profit.
And look, you know, we had got it. We had got the sales down. I was able to take that off of Jessie and say, look, I'll get the revenue in the door. But what happened, especially with the flood, is that the sales came too fast. They came too fast, and we weren't completely buttoned up as an operation and more importantly in our administrative department to know how to handle those kind of sales.
And have you guys stayed at that volume since then?
No,
little ups and downs.
We actually sold less the following year. Which we were happy about. And since then, we've now scaled to beyond that number. I want to say we did 16.5 last year, roughly.
And that's flooring and
it's flooring countertops. That's right. Yeah.
Wow,
yeah.
That's amazing.
No,
How many
it's
people
great.
on your sales department now?
Currently we have, today, right now, we've hired 2 new people. We have 6 on the sales team, plus a sales manager. Yeah, and
so you have some at the Perkins location and then some outbound.
No outside sales. We do have an account executive position that is on the road more so than not, and the other positions we refer to as inside sales consultants. So they're in the showroom.
That's a tremendous amount of volume, though.
It is. Yeah.
And how many people are in the company?
Total W-2 and shop employees, I think we're at 34.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you. Yeah. No, it's a good deal. We're super blessed. And so fast forward and around 2018, Jessie and I partnered up. So the thing about Jessie and I is that we really look at it as a spiritual thing. Like from a very early time with Jessie, there were no egos. Jessie's about 12 years older than I am, and so I've always looked at my journey at Assured Flooring as something that I've been blessed with, and that was almost given to me because of Jessie's posture and who he is as a person. You know, he's opened doors for me to run through and pursue my dreams. If you talk to Jessie, he'd say, I don't know what you're talking about. Before you got here, it was a mess. And because you came and committed like I needed you to and walked shoulder to shoulder, that's a saying he says, with me, I'm able to live my dreams now. But it's really a beautiful dynamic of just no egos, complete gratitude, and complete willingness to trust each other, even whenever we don't agree on things, to hear the other person, to remove emotion, and do your best to and know that you trust this person, and do your best to collaborate and make decisions that sometimes are going to be wrong anyway.
Yeah.
But you're giving it your best effort.
Man, it's very difficult to kind of let that ego down and say, hey, I need help. Mm-hmm. Or bring in somebody, especially younger. Mm-hmm. I mean, you don't see that often that somebody's that humble and caring, especially with somebody that much younger than them, mm-hmm. that's working with them. Mm-hmm. I think that says a lot. I'm really blessed as well to have people believe in me that are part of my core mm-hmm. system that are either younger than me. I have an amazing person that helps us out. A lot of people know her, Juliana Saunders, in our sales department. She's very popular. She's great energy, great person, and she's 15 years younger than me. But she's there shoulder to shoulder with me. Mm-hmm. I have a gentleman named John Kaplan, who's one of the founders of many important industry organizations, or one of the founders of those organizations, and has a great history and pedigree. And he's 10 years older than me. Mm-hmm. And he was kind enough to also see our potential and see me as a leader. Our best engineer, Eddie.
Oh yeah.
Who's a celebrity across the nation, is an amazing technician. We call him MacGyver.
Yeah, it's so good.
And he's 5 years older. And I remember too when I was 22, and he was 27 already. And he had a family to support. He was taking a big chance coming on with me as an entrepreneur. So I think that message is so powerful. I don't even think I hear it that often. A story like that. That's an amazing, inspirational story. I think it could be a lesson to a lot of other countertop shop owners that if you're by yourself, you don't have to be by yourself.
You don't have to do it alone.
You don't have to do it alone. And that doesn't even mean you've got to get a partner. But you just got to sometimes say, you know what? I don't know everything. You know what? Oh, what is this? Oh, this is something new? Well, let me not beat it down and insult it because I don't fully understand it yet, Or let me see if I can ask somebody for help that maybe they can help me. And that can go a long way and you don't have to get a partner, but you can just ask for help, I think. And a lot of guys, I don't think they ask for help enough. But all the people that I do know or that I have met, whether it's in this industry or not, that can bow their head down and kind of say, I don't know everything, I need some help. All of them are today successful.
That's right. Or they're on their way to it. Right.
Or they're on their way to it.
Yeah.
Or at the very least, maybe not successful in only the financial parts, but their team adore them. They love what they do. Their customers love them. And it's just really nice to see that. And I think there should be more of that in our industry.
Yeah, we call it being growth oriented. It's one of our core values. I mean, just always being open minded, willingness to listen, willingness to remind yourself every day that you don't know everything and that someone might have a better way of doing something. And that starts with Jessie and I.
Yeah. It
really does, and then because if we're not doing those things, then our team's not going to believe that they should. But just being growth oriented and staying open minded and we run into a lot of people, even on our team. We have such a good team, but they have great discernment. But Jessie and I also always say, we like to use the term like, let me sleep on it, because I can be so fast that I know exactly what to do. But if I'm not challenging myself and really, really doing a good job of saying like, is that the right thing to do, and sleeping on it with bigger decisions, then I might make the wrong one. Maybe it wasn't right, and that will still happen.
That's something really valuable. I think you learn with age. Like John Kaplan will tell me sometimes. He'll be like, dude, we got to do this.
Yeah.
And he's like, 24-hour rule.
Oh, it's so good.
Or if there's also, because at that moment you're emotional, right? In a positive direction. Now, at the same time, if there's a situation that we see happen with an employee or somebody on our team, we don't like what happened. I'm emotional. I'm like, what the heck?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
He'll say the same thing. He'll be like, 24-hour rule.
No, it's so good.
And 24 hours later, at the moment, I'm like, oh. But then 24 hours later, I'm so happy.
A lot more clarity.
That I waited.
Yeah, a lot more clarity.
More clarity. You sleep on it. You wake up in a different mood. You have a different perspective, and you're like, I'm really glad I did not react.
That's right.
At the time.
No, that's right.
That's really important. That's a great point.
Yeah.
Man, I would say like 2 takeaways from this conversation. First of all, thank you for sharing, because I know you're.
Thank you. No, you're good.
It's an awesome story. It really, I think it's very inspiring. For me, it's inspiring. It's motivating. I didn't know all those things about you. But I think the two, because I like to take the takeaways at the end. And
sure. Yeah.
I would say that the takeaways are, don't be too egotistical. Be proud of yourself, because if you're in business at all, you should be proud of yourself. That's a huge feat. Okay. But you can always learn from everybody.
Yeah.
No matter what level that they're at. If you think they're ahead of you or below you, whatever, you can always learn from everybody, I think. It takes humility, and it actually feels good to say sometimes.
Oh yeah,
I don't know everything.
Yeah, it's liberating.
Right.
It's a lot of relief. Yeah, a lot of weight off your shoulders.
And the second thing is, don't ever react emotional.
Yeah,
whether that's in business.
That's right.
I would say that's even in relationships as well.
Across the board.
There's a couple times with my wife, I'm not gonna lie. I wish I wouldn't have said whatever I said.
You and me both.
I wish I would have bit my tongue a little better.
That's right.
But I think those are 2 great takeaways, and appreciate you.
We appreciate you, man.
Being a part of our network and our friendship and our family. And
you've been a huge part of our growth. Thank you. Yeah, you've been great, Joe. Thank you, man. Yeah, be good.
Take care. Philip Ruiz, everybody. Assured Flooring and Countertops.
Thank y'all.